Hey, what's up, guys? I want to share something pretty cool with you guys today. It's not gonna be fancy, but the concept is pretty cool. I have an Eclair NPR there. It's a Super 16 camera, and I was shimming the mount to have a correct flange focal distance. I talk about this kind of stuff all the time on my channel, and what I want you guys to see is something that is pretty cool, and that is a camera is I could say the reciprocal of a projector. And I'm using this camera to project an image. So if you think about a projector, we need a light source. I have this LED light here. You need a body that is going to hold the film in position. If you think about a slide projector, it projects one image at a time, so the image is just there. And we need a lens somewhere in there. I don't want to show the lens that I'm using, but it's a prime 24mm lens, T1.5, so it's kind of a fast lens, and I chose it because it allows the more transmission of light. And the details are, I have this LED light that I'm going to use, and I want to show you what I have here on the gate. It's going to be difficult to see with this camera, but I have a target, and it's a Vlad target. I mentioned these targets before on another video where I talked about I was adjusting a scanner, and I used one of these targets. These are pretty cool, so I did cut a piece of it and I put it there in the gate. I have some other targets right here that Vlad from Vlad Targets sent me. Thanks, buddy, for sending that. And that's exactly what I'm using there. So let's see how it works. Let's put more power on the light. And I'm gonna do something that you have seen, probably you remember photographers back in the day used to do this. And I'm doing this to cover the light that it's bouncing on the walls, so we can see the effect better. And there you have it. Pretty cool. I'm projecting on the door, nothing fancy, and this allows me to see a lot of things. I'm rotating the focusing ring, and as you can see, there is a lot of detail there, and it provides a lot of information. They do this all the time. Manufacturers do this. Rental houses, I think the biggest rental houses have a projector. And what they do, what this does is it allows you to analyze the image. I can get closer. I'm pretty close to the wall, the door now. I don't know if the camera that I'm holding on my hands is gonna be able to catch this image, but I'm going to focus it. I think you guys can see it, and it's pretty easy to see on the wall when I'm focusing the camera, and I can actually see the fringe, the color fringe that these lenses have. If I rotate the lens to the left, the lines turn magenta. If I do the opposite, they turn green. It's a fringe chromatic aberration. I'm an expert on these topics. I just like experimenting. But there's a lot of information there, guys. And as you can see, the image is pretty healthy, I would say, for the lack of a better word. The corners look pretty good. There's no vignetting. This lens was designed for bigger formats, so it covers the Super 16 area with no issues at all. I'm gonna cut, this is a 24. I'm gonna mount a 10mm lens so you guys can see. But before I do that, I'm gonna turn the lights on. And from this position, I'm gonna show you guys the difference when I mount the 10mm lens. Okay, so I'm at the same position and the lens is mounted on the camera already. It's difficult to see because this lens is actually slower, way slower than the previous one that I showed you guys. This is a 3.5, so it's 2 to 8, more than 2 stops, like 2.5 stops less light. But this is pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool. I can see the image on the wall, on the screen. In this case I'm using a door because the door is white, and I can rotate the focusing ring, and I see the image there. And I wish, I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this kind of stuff, but those lines can tell you the resolving resolution that a lens, a scanner, or other devices have. So this is pretty cool. And Vlad may explain that better. I don't know those details. He has a blog. He explained that stuff to me, but I forgot. I don't have it right now here, but you can see this lens. Well, it's hard to see on the video, but I can see it with my eyes, and it has a good resolution. Resolves pretty well. Hard to see on this camera, but the corners are sharp. This is a lens that was designed for a bigger format as well. So I'm trying to get some more light so you guys can see. There you have it. It's sharp. The corners have the same amount of illumination than the rest of the image. There is a blue tint, and that's because the light that I'm using has some white LEDs and some orange LEDs. So this is a 10 on a Super 16 camera. I'm gonna switch to a 50 just so you guys can see what happens when you do this kind of stuff. Interesting. Okay, and what we are seeing here now, it's a 50mm lens, and as you can see, there's a big difference on the image that the lens projects. Very interesting stuff. I wish I had more to say about all those details. I don't have that information. I'm far from being an expert in optics, but this is really helpful for me when I prepare my cameras. And there is a lot of resolution on this lens. This is a 50mm lens. It's a 1.5, and I can see a lot of detail on those small lines. I can see a lot of numbers, and that's a projected image. Just showing this interesting effect. Vlad target there, converting the camera on a projector that allows me to see the image that the lens can produce, and it allows me to analyze the lenses, the image that the lens produces. Pretty cool stuff. Thanks for watching, guys.